This pattern that I'm tying is my pattern that I came up with to match the hatch down at Bennett Springs State Park here in Missouri. What I use it for is when I'm in the skinnier water or even some of the deeper water where the trout are coming up and they're just slurping off the top and I can't really see what's happening as far as bugs are concerned. So I come up with a rusty brown dry emerger to sit in the film low. I really can't see this fly when it's being fished, so I hook to the rings, and that's generally when I get it. I first came up with this pattern on this hook right here, and I still do tie them on that, but I've somewhat migrated to this hook because every now and then it's just kind of fun to change it up a little when you tie. I'm not sure if I get any better hook sets but between the two hooks, but I know that the 125 has been a very successful hook in the past. So I'm going to go ahead today and tie it on the Daiichi 1160. I'm tying with the this thread right here, rusty brown. I really like the color. That's kind of how I got started with this pattern. So I'm going to use this thread and I want to lay it flat. And I'm going to start about an eye back on that flat surface of this hook. And I'm going to wrap it right down to the bend where it starts to curve and go ahead and cut this off. Now, again, I try to do everything together. I've taken one strand of crystal flash, root beer crystal flash, and they make all kinds of other ones that I've been kind of dabbling with. This one also. Take 4 of the crystal flash and then cut them or take one and cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half, till you get 4 to 5 strands, no more, especially on a 20. I'm going to take my copper wire, which I'm tying with this right here. It is a copper extra small, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm going to tie it all in at the same time, and my copper is going to be as long as my flash, and I'm going to hang it out here in front with plenty on the back side. So I'm going to make sure my thread is laying flat. I'm going to gently wrap and keep it right on top of that hook shank and start wrapping down. As I wrap down just enough to get everything tied in, grab my copper, pull it down, and start wrapping it on the bottom side of that hook. And I'm going to wrap all the way down here, as you can see. And the gauge that I use on this fly is I wrap down the hook shank far enough to where my thread being horizontal is just above that hook point. Then I know I'm there. So each fly that I tie has the same size body, wrapping back up again, just like that. I've now created a nice root beer brown body that when this thread gets wet, it kind of darkens up. So now I'm going to take my wire, and you can see the end of it right there. I have an option of either cutting or pulling. So today we're going to cut. So I'm going to bring it up and cut it out of the way. So from here, I'm going to leave my thread here, and now I'm going to counter wrap 5 wraps on my body. 1, and I'm going to work my way up, segmenting nice and even. 3, 4, and 5. My 5th one should come right to where that hook starts to bend down from the flat surface. So my 6th one is on the bend, and I can wrap forward to my thread and tie it in. Just like that. So everything stays nice and even. Again, this is not a hard pattern. As you can see the segmentation. I'm going to go ahead and helicopter off. That 6th wrap on the wire allows me to helicopter off without drawing my segmentation together by pulling too much. So now I'm going to take my tail, and I'm going to come up and lay my scissors right where I stopped on that bend, and I'm just going to cut that tail just like that. So now I've got my trailing shuck done. Take the top of it, lay it back like a wing, and just put one maybe 2 wraps over it and call that a day. So for now, I'd go ahead and take a dark brown hackle here, sized up for the hook. And I'm going to go ahead and strip this off, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pull enough off of that stem to where I can tie it in. Now I'm going to tie this in dull side up, my side of the hook shank, keeping my thread nice and flat. And as I wrap it, I want to bring that stem to the top, if you can see, and I pull it back so it's right there in the thorax. So what I've created is a nice flat foundation here for my hackle. So I don't want to over hackle this. I want it to stay in the film. And if you notice, the stem went almost 1 wrap all the way around that hook shank. Now we're starting to imply hackle. So there's 1, 2, 3 touching wraps, and on the fourth one, as I come up, bring the thread, let the thread continue around, holding your hackle straight up. Give it another wrap, and now she's tied in enough to where, leaving that hackle there so in case anything goes bad, you can redo it, you didn't lose it. And I'm going to half hitch right there, and I'm going to give it another one, just like that, and another one. And so now my hackle is done. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, just like that. Cut my thread. Now I'm going to come up to the size of the hackle, give or take, with my wing, cut my wing. And there you have the root beer dry emerger. It's that easy to tie. It is so effective at Bennett Springs in the evening and even during the day when they're slurping. Please give it a try. I recommend it.